In the first season of Escape from Darkness, a group of survivors, Lucas, Ana, Sara, Miguel, and João, escaped from a cursed island, haunted by a sinister force that transformed villagers into monsters. After a risky escape, they found refuge in an unknown city, hoping to rebuild their lives. But their peace was short-lived. Soon, strange events and mysterious sightings began to haunt the city, revealing a dark connection between their past and a secret cult lurking in the shadows, controlling the city from within. Now, in the second season, the group discovers that this cult is led by none other than the city's mayor, who has orchestrated accidents and even murders to protect the organization's secrets. During their investigation, Ana and Eliza were kidnapped, and the group realizes their fight against darkness is far from over. Each step brings them closer to a horrifying truth, but also places them in even greater danger. Get ready. The battle against the cult has only just begun. Ana and Eliza walk in silence through the shadowy corridor of City Hall. The environment seems to close in around them with an oppressive presence, and the sound of Eliza's heels echoes eerily, each beat reverberating like a reminder that they shouldn't be there. The walls are cold and damp, and the dim lighting casts elongated, shifting shadows as they move forward. Ana feels a chill down her neck, as though unseen eyes are watching them. Both are dressed in dark clothing to blend into the shadows, yet each step seems louder than they'd like. As they near the door to the mayor's office, Eliza grips Ana's arm, hesitating for a moment. Eliza, whispering almost breathless, "Are you sure this is the place?" Eliza's heartbeat quickens, her gaze mirroring the tension of the moment. For an instant, Ana feels the weight of hesitation too, but she quickly regains her resolve, determined to press on. "Ana," with a determined look, "if there's something hidden, this is where we'll find it." Ana places her hand on the doorknob, but pauses as a faint sound echoes distantly, like muffled footsteps reverberating through the empty hallway. She turns to Eliza, and they exchange a quick look of alertness. After a brief hesitation, Ana twists the doorknob and opens the door, stepping into the office with careful, quiet steps, as though silence were their last layer of protection. The air inside the office is dense, almost stifling, as if it harbors dark secrets. Tiny particles of dust float in the scant light, filtering through the covered window, and the smell of aged wood and yellowed paper fills the space. They switch on their small flashlights, keeping the beams low to light only what's necessary. As they survey the office, Ana notices piles of documents stacked across the desk. Some papers are yellowed with age, marked with notes and symbols that seem vaguely familiar, but something far more unsettling catches her eye. On the wall behind the mayor's desk, a complex symbol is carved into the wood. She examines it closely, feeling a shiver as she recalls the ancient documents she had studied before. "Ana," almost whispering to herself, "this symbol, it's the same one we saw in the old records." Meanwhile, Eliza rummages through the desk drawers, uncovering more papers, but before she can examine them, they both hear footsteps in the hallway outside. A sudden weight of fear falls over them, and panic sets in. Eliza signals to Ana, quickly switching off her flashlight. Eliza, alarmed, whispering, "Someone's coming." They glance around and spot a large, empty cabinet. Ana motions for them to hide, and the two squeeze inside the cramped space, closing the door just enough to leave a thin crack to watch what happens outside. They hold their breaths, their hearts pounding like drums in their chests, as they wait for the unknown figure to enter. The office door swings open abruptly, and the mayor enters with brisk, firm strides. His expression is grim, almost frantic, and his eyes sweep across the room with a sharp gaze, as though he expects to find something out of place. He shuts the door firmly and walks directly to the wall bearing the symbol, his hands trembling slightly as he presses on the engraved emblem. Ana and Eliza watch, frozen in place. A metallic click echoes through the room, and a small opening reveals itself in the wall, uncovering a hidden compartment. Ana's stomach churns, realizing they are witnessing something far bigger than they had imagined. The mayor retrieves an ornate key from the compartment, adorned with the same symbol as the wall. He stares at it for a moment, his face marked by a reverent and concerned expression, as though he is holding something both sacred and dangerous. He places the key inside his jacket, gives the room one last look, and exits, leaving the office once again steeped in silence. Ana and Eliza cautiously step out of the cabinet, still reeling from the shock. The sense of being entangled in a dangerous scheme is nearly overwhelming, but Ana feels her curiosity growing stronger. She examines the spot where the key had been hidden, noticing that up close, the engraving of the symbol is even more intricate than she had thought. Anna, whispering to Eliza, "We have to follow him. He's hiding something incredibly important." Eliza looks at Anna, her face a blend of apprehension and determination. She understands that pulling back now would mean losing their only chance to uncover the truth of what's really happening. Yet she feels the weight of knowing that pressing forward risks far more than just their own lives. "Eliza, then let's go. But carefully, they're closer than we think." With these whispered words, they both decide there's no turning back, and they slip out of the office. The tension builds as they follow the mayor. Every step they take feels like a challenge against the silence, and the corridor seems to stretch endlessly, distorted by the thick tension filling the building. They watch as the mayor enters an elevator, pressing the button for the basement level. Exchanging loaded glances, they sense the gravity of his destination. Eliza, whispering, "The basement, what could he be hiding down there?" Anna glances at the nearby staircase and signals for them to head down that way, moving swiftly to avoid being seen. As they descend, the sound of their footsteps echoes through the empty building, and the air grows colder and heavier, as if they're descending into a place long forgotten by time. Upon reaching the basement, Anna and Eliza are met by a dark, damp space where the silence feels even heavier. The concrete walls are streaked with moss and water stains, and symbols, faded and worn, are painted across the walls, the same ones they saw in the mayor's office. It's as though this place is a sanctuary for something unknown. Eliza grips her flashlight tightly, her body tense and eyes scanning every shadow that seems to flicker around them. Anna's heart pounds, but a quiet determination pushes her forward. Every step they take feels like a trespass into a forbidden, sacred space. Turning a corner, they spot a door left slightly ajar, with a flickering light spilling out. They approach cautiously, knowing they are on the edge of both discovery and danger. The secret room is spacious and eerily silent. Torches fixed to the walls cast a dim glow, creating dancing shadows that turn the space into a haunting spectacle of light and dark. The mayor stands at the center, surrounded by hooded figures. He wears a distinct cloak, and his presence is commanding, almost intimidating. Anna and Eliza watch from their hidden spot as the mayor addresses the members of the cult. His voice is deep, laden with authority, and every word sounds like a pronouncement. "Mayor, the curse cannot be interrupted. Those who dared to investigate have already been eliminated. The helicopter crash was only the beginning." Anna fights to stay calm. His words reveal that the accident wasn't an accident, and the weight of this truth is nearly unbearable. "Cult member, some survivors remain. But we're keeping a close watch. Mayor," in a chilling tone, "they won't last. Our duty is to guard the power of the curse. No one interferes without consequence." Outside, Eliza feels her stomach twist. The gravity of what they've just heard puts everyone in danger, and she realizes they're up against a force far more powerful than a mere cult. It's a power that controls the fate of everyone involved. Eliza tugs Anna's arm, gesturing for them to withdraw silently from the room before they're discovered. Both retreat slowly, their eyes locked on the dark corridor ahead. The air is thick with a heavy energy, and the silence feels almost suffocating. Anna's heartbeat races wildly, her muffled breath echoing in her ears. As they attempt to retreat, a soft sound escapes from Eliza's pocket. A pen falls and rolls gently across the floor. Instantly, one of the hooded figures inside the room turns, their gaze sharp and suspicious. "Cult member," with a firm, cold voice, "Did you hear that?" Anna and Eliza freeze, pressing themselves against the wall, not daring even to breathe. Each second drags on like an eternity as the cult member approaches to investigate. The corridor remains in absolute silence, and the tension is almost palpable. They exchange silent glances, knowing that any movement could give them away. After what feels like hours, the hooded figure gives up and returns to the room, muttering that it must have been just a noise from the old building. Eliza lets out a quiet sigh of relief and looks at Anna, her expression a blend of relief and determination. With their hearts still racing, Anna and Eliza know they need to get out of there as quickly as possible. They move swiftly up the shadowy staircase, each step carefully measured to minimize noise. The sound of their shoes against the floor feels louder than ever, and each creak of the steps heightens the tension. Anna glances back frequently, almost expecting to see a hooded figure descending the stairs behind them. When they finally reach the upper floor, they exchange a look of relief. But they know they're not safe yet and decide to exit through the side door to avoid the main corridors. "Eliza," whispering, "We need to tell the group everything. They need to know what we found out." Anna, determined, "Yes, but carefully. They're everywhere, and any mistake could put us all in danger." They slip out through the side door and hurry away from City Hall, adrenaline still pumping through their veins. Once they step onto the street, Anna and Eliza move quickly, but carefully to avoid drawing attention. The night is cold and quiet, and a lingering sense of danger hovers around them, as if unseen eyes are following their every move. They walk in silence, trying to process everything they've just witnessed. After a few minutes, they find a secluded alley where they stop to catch their breath. Anna looks at Eliza, trying to grasp the enormity of what they're up against. Both wear expressions of shock mixed with fear and determination. Eliza, breathless, almost murmuring, they're really behind all of it. The helicopter crash, and how many more? Ana, serious, with a firm voice, "It doesn't matter how many. Now we know what we're facing. We'll gather the group, and we'll do whatever it takes to expose the truth." Eliza nods silently, still processing the magnitude of what they've uncovered. Anna's resolve begins to steady her own doubts, and despite the fear, she knows she must press forward. Anna and Eliza arrive at the apartment, where Lucas, Sara, Miguel, and João await them, all wearing expressions of apprehension and anxiety. The atmosphere is tense, and the silence in the room is broken only by the sound of each person's heavy breathing as they wait for their friend's report. Anna takes a deep breath before starting to recount what they witnessed, and the weight of her words makes everyone realize the grave danger they are facing. Anna, with an urgent tone, "The situation is far worse than we thought. The mayor isn't just a corrupt leader. He's the head of a cult that controls everything, and he won't hesitate to eliminate anyone who might threaten their secrets." Her words hang in the air, and a deathly silence falls over the group. Lucas watches every detail of Anna and Eliza's expressions, feeling the enormity of the situation. He clenches his fists, his resolve growing. Miguel, in shock, "So the accident, the helicopter crash, it was planned?" Anna, nodding yes. "It was sabotage. They wanted to stop us from uncovering the truth. And anyone who gets close to it becomes a target." Lucas, his gaze steady, makes a decision, sensing the threat looming closer with each passing moment. "Lucas, if they think we'll back down, they're mistaken. Now we know who we're up against, and that only gives us more reason to expose this cult." The group agrees in silence, though the fear is clear on their faces. They all understand they're entangled in something far greater than they anticipated. Based on the information they've gathered, the group decides to investigate an old tunnel system that, according to records, connects City Hall to key locations around the city. They arrive at the tunnel entrance, partially hidden by overgrowth and debris. The place is desolate, and the night's silence makes every sound seem amplified. João, the most experienced in engineering, examines the entrance with a focused expression, pointing to a few marks that indicate recent use. João with Tildo, "This place looks abandoned, but these marks are fresh. They must be using these tunnels to move around unseen." Sara, whispering, "This place, it feels dead, like it carries an ancient, dark secret." Lucas grips his flashlight tightly, feeling a mix of fear and determination. He signals the group to move forward, and they enter the tunnel in silence, fully aware that they're stepping into enemy territory. The tunnel is dark and cold, with an oppressive dampness that makes the air nearly unbreathable. The sound of their footsteps echoes against the stone walls, each step a reminder of their vulnerability and the darkness surrounding them. Their flashlights reveal just enough to see where they're stepping, but the shadows ahead stretch on infinitely. Strange, ancient symbols cover the walls, some of them faintly glowing with a light that seems to emanate from the very ground. Miguel observes them closely, feeling a chill as he recognizes the symbols from the documents they'd seen earlier. Miguel, almost whispering in a somber tone, "These symbols, they're the same ones we saw in the records. This place is marked. It feels like a sanctuary for darkness itself. Lucas, stay alert. We don't know what we'll find, but we have to keep moving." As they continue through the tunnel, each member of the group feels the weight of the atmosphere, as though the darkness is closing in around them, watching their every move. Sara moves closer to Anna, almost instinctively protective, while Eliza remains silent but keenly attentive to every detail. At the end of the tunnel, the group encounters a massive metal door covered with ancient markings and symbols. João pushes the door, which opens with a loud creak, revealing a spacious room dimly lit by candles casting distorted shadows across the walls. The room is dark and foreboding, with an altar at its center etched with symbols and scattered with old papers. Anna approaches the altar, touching one of the documents and reading the first few lines. Her face pales as she absorbs the content. Anna, voice trembling, these papers, they speak of sacrifices and rituals to keep the curse's power over the city. To them, it's something sacred. Miguel notices an engraved symbol on the altar that seems to depict a circle of hooded figures holding hands around a larger central figure. The mystery deepens, and the group senses they are facing a threat far greater than they ever imagined. Just as the group begins to leave the chamber, the sound of heavy footsteps echoes from behind them. Lucas stops abruptly and signals for everyone to switch off their flashlights. They all hold their breaths as the sounds grow closer, muffled voices and hurried footsteps signaling an imminent chase. Cult member, in a firm, relentless voice, they can't escape. These intruders must learn to respect the power we guard. Anna feels a chill run down her spine as the group hides in the shadows of the tunnel, watching the hooded figures advance toward them. Lucas grips Miguel's shoulder, indicating they should wait until the pursuers pass. After several tense minutes, as the cult members draw closer, the group finally watches as the hooded figures disappear into the darkness ahead. Lucas signals for them to move slowly in the opposite direction, fully aware that every step must be silent and cautious. Sara, whispering to Anna, that was too close. They're in every shadow of this city. Anna, her voice filled with growing determination. We need to get out of here and come up with a strategy. Now we know they won't stop as long as they see us as a threat. The group finally finds a narrow staircase leading to the surface, emerging into a dark alley in the city. The night breeze is cold and biting, and while they feel a brief relief at being outside, it is quickly overshadowed by an even sharper sense of imminent danger. Lucas scans the area, watching for any suspicious movement. Lucas, we're far from safe. They know we're here, and it's only a matter of time before they try again. João with Tildo, we need a definitive plan. Something that doesn't just expose the cult, but ensures they can't escape. As they move away from the tunnel entrance, a shadow appears on a nearby building. Eliza notices a hooded figure watching them from a distance, but by the time she points it out to the others, the shadow has already vanished. Eliza, anxious, they're watching us. Even out here, we're not safe. Anna glances around, sensing that although they escaped the tunnel, the real threat is still dangerously close. Back at the hideout, the group is exhausted and shaken. The adrenaline from the past hours begins to wear off, and fatigue weighs on each of them. The room is silent, but they all know this is the time to discuss their next steps. Lucas surveys each face around him, feeling the gravity of the situation. Anna, we need to expose this cult once and for all. We know they control not only the mayor, but probably other influential figures too. We're dealing with a network that goes far beyond what we imagined. Sara looks at the group, trying to absorb the reality of what they're up against, feeling a wave of fear. But the determination of her friends gives her courage. Sara, we have the evidence, but how can we make sure the public believes us? They're powerful, and they'll certainly have the resources to cover up the truth. João with Tildo, maybe we should look for allies. Someone outside, someone who wants to end their rule as much as we do. Lucas considers João's words, and an idea begins to form. They would need support, but the question was, who could they trust? Lucas, if we're going to take them down, we have to be careful. They have eyes and ears everywhere. But we don't have a choice. We'll plan each move carefully. As the group discusses the details, Anna and Eliza step away for a moment to retrieve some documents from the next room. Suddenly, a muffled thud is heard, followed by a brief, stifled cry. Lucas and the others immediately stand, alarmed, and rush toward the room. When they arrive, they find the window open and the room empty. The silence is almost deafening as they look around, trying to process what just happened. On the floor, they spot a small note, written in letters cut from a magazine. Note, you dared to interfere. Now pay the price. Lucas's face hardens as he clenches the note in his hand, determination mixed with visible worry. Miguel, they took Anna and Eliza. This is a direct threat. They're challenging us. Lucas, with determination, we won't back down. They think they can intimidate us, but they've just made the mistake we needed. We're going after them, and this time we're ending it. The tension in the room rises, and everyone agrees on the rescue plan, fully aware that every minute counts. In the new hideout, the group is on high alert, reshaping their plan. The press conference, initially intended to expose the cult, has to be postponed, so they can focus on rescuing Anna and Eliza. Lucas, still holding the threatening note, looks at the group with a mix of anger and determination. João with Tildo, They want to intimidate us. They think they can control us and stop us from exposing the truth. Miguel, but they made a mistake by taking them. Now we have even more reason to expose everything they're hiding. Lucas meets the eyes of each person in the room, taking in the weight of their mission. Lucas, we'll rescue Anna and Eliza first. They're trying to divide us, but all they've done is make us stronger. The group agrees, fully aware of the risks, but driven by the need to save their friends and bring down the cult. Following clues left by the cult, the group tracks down an old warehouse in the industrial area of the city. The building is run down, surrounded by signs of abandonment, yet fresh tracks on the ground and the lingering smell of smoke indicate recent activity. Lucas and João enter first, while Miguel and Sara remain vigilant outside. The atmosphere inside the warehouse is thick and oppressive. The air feels stagnant, and an unsettling silence fills the space, as if each shadow is watching them. Lucas, in a low voice, stay alert. They could be here. As they proceed, they find a locked door bound by heavy chains, with scratch marks on the wood as if someone had tried to escape. João with Tildo, they might be in there. We need to find a way to open this door. They scour the area, searching for a key or something that could break the chain, but each passing second raises the tension. Finally, the group is ambushed by cult guards who enter the warehouse, blocking the exit. Lucas realizes they no longer have time for subtlety. They need to act. He studies the guards, who look back at them with cold, menacing expressions. Cult guard, with a menacing tone. Did you think you could leave here alive? You never should have come near our truth. Lucas exchanges a quick look with Miguel, and in a swift move, they engage the guards, fighting with everything they have to clear a path. The struggle is intense, and each of them uses every tool and skill at their disposal to fend off the guards. After subduing the guards, they find the key and unlock the door. Inside, they discover Anna and Eliza, bound and disoriented but alive. Relief is clear on everyone's face, though a lingering worry about what lies ahead remains. Eliza, almost tearful, you actually came. Lucas, we're not leaving anyone behind. We're getting out of here together. The group begins their escape from the warehouse, but they quickly realize that more cult members are nearby, closing in to prevent their getaway. The chase is intense, with the group running through rows of boxes and old equipment, trying to lose the hooded figure. In a quick move, João manages to block the main door with a metal bar, buying them some time. The group flees into the dark streets, the sound of pursuing footsteps fading as they vanish into the night. After their escape, the group gathers in a small rented apartment, which they've decided to use as a new hideout. The place is modest, with a single ceiling light casting a dim glow, giving the room a melancholic, somber tone. Anna and Eliza are still recovering from their abduction, but the determination in their eyes now outweighs the fear. Anna, they'll keep coming, until they've destroyed anyone who stands against them. Miguel looks around at the group, his expression full of concern. Miguel, and the city? If this cult controls everything, how can we make sure people believe us when we reveal the truth? João speaks up, his tone serious, as though carrying a weighty mission. João with Tildo, that's why we need undeniable proof and a solid strategy. We can't risk this again without something that will truly dismantle their control. The group agrees, but a heavy silence falls over them as each person processes the risks they're taking. Sara, in a quiet voice, even if we succeed, will there be a safe place for us to return to? Lucas, his gaze steady on the group, answers with conviction. Lucas, if we do this together, we'll make it out. There's no turning back now. Martin Keller, a trusted journalist and friend of Anna's, is called to the hideout to assist them. He arrives at dawn, his face full of apprehension and curiosity. Seeing the group, he realizes he's about to dive into something far larger than he anticipated. Martin, what exactly are you asking me to do? Is this an expose or a war? Anna, a bit of both. We need your help to expose what's happening, but it has to be done in a way that can't be silenced. Martin takes a deep breath, feeling the weight and danger of what they're asking. He looks at Anna, her face weary but her eyes resolute. Lucas and the others remain silent, waiting for his answer. Martin, if we're going to do this, we need concrete evidence. Something that doesn't just reveal the cult, but directly ties the mayor and other city figures to the crimes. Lucas nods, already forming a plan. Lucas, we need to go back to the tunnel and find documents or symbols that can serve as evidence. We'll need to move quickly and carefully. Night falls, and the group is exhausted. Each of them tries to find a moment of rest, but fear and anxiety make sleep nearly impossible. Anna sits by the window, gazing out at the city lights, though everything appears dark to her. Anna, I knew by going down this path we were crossing a line. But now, there's no turning back. They've pushed our lives to the edge. We're stronger together, but doubt and fear still follow us. As Anna reflects, Lucas approaches, sitting beside her. The silence between them is comforting, both understanding the weight they share. Lucas, when all this is over, we'll finally be able to live in peace. But until then, we have to fight. Anna nods, and the look they exchange carries the promise that they will stand firm, no matter what lies ahead. As night falls, the group prepares to re-enter the tunnel. Each wears dark clothing, and Martin brings recording equipment and a camera to document everything they find. The mood is tense, but they all understand the importance of this mission. As they enter the tunnel again, the damp smell and penetrating cold greet them like unwelcome guests. Shadows stretch out, seeming to watch them, and every sound they make echoes ominously. Miguel, if this place was built to keep secrets, they're not going to be happy to see us back here. The group moves cautiously toward the room where they found the altar and documents. This time, the room feels even darker, and Anna notices a faint layer of ash on some of the papers. Anna, they tried to burn the evidence. They know we're close to uncovering something. Martin starts taking photos and making notes, while the others search the room for anything that survived the flames. Sara discovers a hidden compartment in the altar, where additional documents and symbols have been stashed, apparently in haste. Sara, here. They left something behind. They examine the documents and realize they contain records of meetings, detailed instructions for rituals, and even names of public figures involved with the cult. Martin records every detail, fully aware of the significance of this evidence. As they finish collecting the evidence, the sound of hurried footsteps and voices echoes down the tunnel. Lucas and the others realize they've been discovered. Martin switches off his flashlight, and everyone braces themselves for what's to come. The shadows of hooded figures draw closer, and the air grows thick with tension. Cult member, in a cold voice, you've gone too far. There's no way out of here now. Determined to protect the group, Lucas signals for them to start retreating. They move swiftly through the tunnel corridors, each step calculated to avoid making noise. One of the hooded figures, however, blocks the exit, forcing Lucas and João to fight their way through. The struggle is fierce, and the sound of blows echoes throughout the tunnel. Lucas, to the group, run. Get out of here now. Anna, Martin, and the others manage to escape, but Lucas and João stay behind a moment longer, fending off the attackers until they're able to incapacitate the remaining guards. The group emerges from the tunnel and sprints through the darkened streets, with the sounds of pursuing footsteps close behind. The chase is frantic, each of them battling exhaustion and fear as they try to lose their pursuers. The familiar streets now feel hostile and treacherous. Eventually, Lucas and the others find shelter in an empty parking lot, hiding behind abandoned cars and trying to catch their breath. The silence is tense as they survey the area, hoping the cult members have given up the chase. Anna, breathless, we have the proof, but we're still far from safe. Martin, with the camera in his hands, reviews the photos and recordings, recognizing the immense value of what they've just captured. Martin, with this, they won't be able to hide, but we need a secure way to make everything public. Asterisk. After their escape, the group gathers in a secure location with Martin to plan how to release the evidence. They're all exhausted, but a sense of hope begins to flicker. The evidence they've gathered is solid, and now, the focus is on ensuring the information reaches the public without the cult's interference. João with Tildo. What if we split the information across multiple sources? We publish on several platforms simultaneously. That way, they can't silence everything at once. Miguel, good idea. If we pull this off right, they'll have no choice but to face the truth. Martin nods in agreement, and they begin organizing a coordinated release strategy. The plan is to share the evidence with trusted journalists and publish across multiple outlets, making it impossible for the cult to suppress everything. Lucas, it's time to end this cult and free this city from the darkness that's consuming it. Back at Anna's apartment, everyone feels a mixture of exhaustion and relief. Anna watches the group, grateful for how far they've come, but an uneasy feeling lingers. She walks to the window, looking out over the city, when she notices a hooded figure watching the apartment from a nearby street. Before she can alert the others, her phone vibrates. It's a message from an unknown number, containing only a single line. Message: you think you've escaped, but this is only the beginning. A chill runs through Anna as she reads the message. and the sense of looming danger returns full force. She turns back to the group, realizing that even with the evidence in hand, their battle is far from over. The cult may have been exposed, but the shadow over the city remains. The struggle between light and darkness has only just begun.
Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.